Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Audi RS6 Performance and look at it with all the blacked out elements. It looks really fast. Straight away, let's open the engine bay and there you can see it is a V8 engine. My goodness, it looks awesome. Says RS right here and the engine bay is completely packed because there's no space for anything because this engine is so huge. There's insulation there, gas struts of course. What a beautiful looking car. I love how the Audi logo is blackened out. So all of this is part of, I think, a black package or something of that sort. This is very much functional. These are the radars for ADAS, of course. Says RS6 right here, which is also blackened out. Dynamic swipe indicators which swipe from the inside to the outside. Lovely looking lights. You get headlight washers as well. This is not functional because it did not make sense to make it functional after doing a wind tunnel test. Beautiful looking car. It looks really awesome in this black color, and coming to the side you realize that it is actually quite a long car. So it is almost 5 meters in terms of length. The wheelbase is more than 2.9 meters and I love the alloy wheels because these are sort of golden colored RS brake calipers finished in black. You can get them in grey, you can get them in blue, you can get them in red as well. If you get the carbon ceramic discs, weight is going to reduce by 34 freaking kgs. But what amazing brakes. The tire size happens to be 285 30-22s. These wheels actually weigh 5 kgs lesser, which means that the unsprung mass is reduced by 20 kgs, which is a lot. Parking sensors everywhere because it's got the self-park function, of course. There's a camera here. It obviously gets 360-degree parking camera. Rear tire size is also the same. Obviously, you get smaller brakes at the rear. Meanwhile, this is the sexiest looking station wagon. Look at the design. From the rear, it looks unbelievably awesome. Again, you get blackened out elements. No connected tail light here, but beautiful looking lights. You can see the dynamic swipe indicators. Audi's done a fantastic job with the lights, of course. And you get a rear spoiler, high mounted stop lamp, and a shark fin antenna as well. I love this car. It's so amazing. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth will always stay away from these real exhaust. Right now, I have not turned on the exhaust to full blast. That's the reason you can see the valve is actually closed right now. Oh my god, this is so sexy. This station wagon is unbelievable in terms of design. Let's open the boot because it's huge at 548 liters. So who needs an SUV when you have something like the RS6 Avant? Huge boot, and there is a compartment below, not very usable. It does not get a spare wheel here, of course. Storage space is here. You can recline the seat by pulling it. So 40-20-40 split, some light here as well, and then just pull it. Now you can carry a house because it's massive. The only problem is I don't know how to use this parcel shelf. A 12-volt charging socket has been given. This is obviously powered, so I press a button. There it shuts. I love the color. Oh my god, I never thought a car could look so sexy in black, especially with tinted windows at the rear. Let's put this back up. Some effort is required because seats are like really very heavy. RS seats, of course, no adjustable headrest. Center passenger does get a head because this is adjustable, of course, and you get a center armrest which gets cup holders. And yeah, so there's some trick by which I can recline this as well for the 40-20-40 function. Seat belts get this red treatment, red stitching as well. So in the performance version, either you get red stitching or you get blue stitching. Now this seat is actually quite behind, so legroom is still adequate enough because this is scooped out. Magazine holder here, legroom is decent. Under thigh support is not the best, and headroom is quite adequate for someone as tall as me. Light placement here, there's a hook, there's a handle, height adjustable seat belts at the front, of course. And the dashboard actually looks quite nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking dashboard. Yeah, cops just went by. No sunroof in this car because German spec, right? In Germany, people are not crazy behind sunroof. Now this is actually a 5-seater, but if there's a 6th person, that person can sit on that chair. Jokes aside, let's get inside the car. Before that, let me show you the key of the vehicle. Unlock the car, lock the car, and this is to open the boot. Says RS. What does RS stand for? It stands for Rennsport in German, which is basically racing sport. The vehicle's chassis number has been written here. You get the lane keep assist camera as well as the sensor for rain, for the rain sensor, obviously. Seats are nice and comfortable. Again, RS seats, of course. Door pockets are decent size. I love the Alcantara finish. It's amazing. Yeah, it's on the steering wheel as well. And check this out, okay? See, the seat is moving behind, the steering is also moving because memory function is there for both of these things. But under-thigh support is never an issue. Why? Because you can actually open it, although that's manual. Let me push the steering inside. Electric adjust for the steering wheel. This car has a lot of features, very good quality, like amazing quality. Alcantara is on the dashboard as well, and obviously you get the soft close door function there. It pulls it inside to shut it, so it's loaded with crazy amount of tech. It says RS on the mat as well, the carpet actually, and that is to open the hood of the vehicle, just pull it twice. Here you get some storage space which is hidden, controls for the headlights, and Bang & Olufsen audio system, which is really amazing. It says RS here. It even projects RS right there on the floor at night. So beautiful finishing of Alcantara right here. Glove box is decent size. It says Quattro here. So people are sitting next to you, do not panic when you launch it aggressively. Beautiful seats, like really amazing seats. Alcantara finish here on the roof as well. Auto dimming, of course. Here you get a mirror. Again, it's bathed in Alcantara. There's so much Alcantara in this car. It's amazing. Steering feels so good to hold. There's this red stitching here on the steering wheel. There's RS written here. It's a flat bottom steering. It gets this red stitching here as well. Beautiful, yeah, really amazing. There's a wireless charging pad. You obviously get a cloth to clean these screens because they are a fingerprint magnet, honestly. We turn off the air conditioning. 2 USB charging sockets, which are USB-C. Here you get a 12 volt charging socket, 2 cup holders as well. Electric parking brake, auto hold function. Gear lever also gets this Alcantara finish, and you've got some physical buttons, but everything is reliant on these 2 screens. So this is a 10.1 inch screen in terms of size. This is an 8.6 inch. So this is mainly for the air conditioning controls, and it also gets heating as well as ventilation for both the front seats. Self park button and traction control button is given here. This is for the drive select, so you can browse through the various drive modes. And this is the regular screen which you have seen in a lot of Audi cars. So straight away I get into reverse. That is the reverse parking camera. It obviously gets adaptive guidelines. Camera quality is fantastic. You can see the camera is actually moving. It's not really moving. It's like a software which works that way. So you get into the 3D view and you're going to be blown over. This color is so amazing. See this color in real, you will love it. What an amazing color. So matte finishes look awesome on the RS6 Avant. By far the sexiest looking wagon in the world. I would call it a hyper wagon because it's got the performance. It's like brutally quick as well. So little bit cumbersome to use because you have to really hunt for what you're searching for. So for starters, we are going to get into light and visibility, interior lighting. Now you see how many steps I have to take. I will get into individual, then I have to decide surfaces, then I will decide colors, and now I can browse through 30 colors to change. So similarly, I can also change it for lines. So that's how the ambient lighting works. Yeah, there's some preset lighting controls as well. Let's get out of here and let's get into settings, because in display and brightness, you can actually change the Audi virtual cockpit. So this is the RS Performance, which is like a hockey stick. I can get into RS Sport. This one looks cool. And the RS Runway can be activated by just pressing this button. There it is, because this is for the RS mode. There's a button on the steering wheel for the RS mode. So a lot of buttons. This is for audio controls. This is for the controls of this. I'm just going to press OK. You can time yourself. Yeah, it has got quite a lot of things like acceleration timer, and then you can get a full view as well. Fantastic screen, 12.3 inch in terms of size, and you get paddle shifters which are made of metal, of course. This is for cruise control. Amazing quality. This car has just unbelievable quality. Like there's nothing you can fault with. In fact, this engine start button also has this red surround to it. You get ambient lighting here as well. You get this beautiful finishing. Yeah. Amazing finishing. The cabin is so well done, and you get a heads-up display as well, which also changes when you get into RS mode. It actually shows you the tachometer. So I'm just going to get out of RS mode. Yeah, there it changes. Quality of the displays absolutely unfreaking believable. Obviously, you get the usual bits which you get in other Audi cars, like the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, also for the power window controls, and I think we should play some audio. So here we go. I don't know, someone is just talking nonsense on the radio, or I don't understand what they're talking. Now, what I really love about this car, and I'm not kidding, first and foremost, let's turn it off. Here we go. Car is turned off. Seat actually moves behind to tell me, okay, you can exit smoothly. It is the light show it does at night, which is very nice. So whenever you unlock the car, it does this beautiful light show. Isn't that awesome and amazing? But this is an RS, so it's all about how does it drive. It says Audi Sport here on the cluster, but let's start driving right away. right, it says Audi Sport right there. Let's turn on the car. Seat moves ahead. The Audi welcome sound says welcome to RS6 Performance. Thank you, but where's the Avant name written? It's not visible. And I'm straight away going to come into RS mode right there. And as soon as I do that, I can hear the exhaust, man. It just gets ready to go bonkers. We get into vehicle, we get into the RS monitor right here. And I'm just going to swap it to the G-force meter. I get into drive. I think there is a problem here. I need to configure the RS mode because it is not really ready. So we get into RS2. Everything is in sport. Yeah, everything is in sport. So I think we get into RS2 by pressing once again. Yeah, now we are in RS2, which means that ESC is in sport. That means that launch control is going to work. We come out of this vehicle. It has disengaged the ADAS system right now. Handbrake down, and it's time to go. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Launch control. Ho, 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 ho. Unbelievable acceleration. So this is actually, oh my god, I can feel the seatbelt pre-tension because of the kind of performance and the G-forces this car has to offer. Now you don't feel you're driving something like a wagon, you feel like you're driving a sedan only. So weight distribution is fantastic in this car. It does weigh quite a lot, 2100 kgs, although weight reduction has happened because here and there they have reduced the weight with the wheels, and then obviously they have reduced the weight with the center differential, which is lighter and it's more compact and it's more aggressive and better response and all that. So here, making a quick overtake. Cyclists are almost everywhere because today is I think a Saturday. Oh my god, the car just feels so glued to the road. Grip levels are fantastic thanks to Quattro all-wheel drive system, which actually channels 40% power to the front wheels and 60% to the rear wheels, and can increase that to up to 70% to the front axle and 85% to the rear axle. It also gets Quattro rear differential, which is the sport differential, which is able to manage power between the rear wheels in order to ensure optimum traction at all given moments. And trust me on this car drives like a dream. It absolutely drives like a dream. Steering doesn't have much feel or feedback, but it is accurate enough. But get onto the throttle and it just pulls. It pulls really hard and strong. So performance will never disappoint you because 30 PS more power now. So it's making 621 horsepower or 630 PS of power at 6000 RPM. Meanwhile, torque output has also gone up by 50 Newton meters to 850 Newton meters. This is the most powerful Audi car you can buy right now. Even the RS7, both of them have the same engine. Everything is the same MLB Evo platform. This is actually based on the A6, but it is actually wider by around 80 mm. So wider track, of course. And look at the way it really feels so composed around the corners. Unbelievable. Yeah, I love this car. Body roll is very well contained, but these low profile tires are not really good for ride, of course, because the ride is a bit stiff and bad over bad bumps. So you can feel that. Air suspension, or you can get the sport suspension with adjustable dampers, adaptive dampers and all that as well. So yeah, these guys are going at a rapid pace. We're going to make a quick overtake. Okay, let me downshift. The engine could have sounded louder inside. You can't really hear much of the engine, which is kind of disappointing, and that's because the insulation levels are so good. It gets double glazed windows, which means that it cuts all the outside sound and you can't hear much inside. So yeah, that's a bit, I would say, disappointing. It should sound louder, it should sound raw like an AMG, but it's very responsive. Mid-range is super duper awesome. You've got launch control, you've got an 8-speed gearbox, which is actually a torque converter. No, this is not having a dual clutch automatic gearbox. But Audi got there first because BMW has announced that it is going to discontinue the dual clutches which it is offering, and also manual gearbox is going to just have torque converter. I think that's a step to go all electric, which is very sad indeed. Even Audi is pledged to go all electric very soon, so that's again very disappointing. But let me tell you that this car, it feels so aggressive, it feels super glued to the road, very good high speed stability. It's a mile muncher. Like I was saying, this is a hyper wagon. It can just gobble up the miles and it can do it very fast indeed. It has a very aggressive stop start system which can work up to 20 kilometers per hour. So now it has got a 48 volt mild hybrid system, which basically is able to enable coasting function in efficiency mode up to 160 kilometers per hour. That's a lot, yeah. But where in the world, other than German autobahns, can I coast at speeds of 160 kilometers per hour? Absolutely nowhere. I've driven almost everywhere in the world, and trust me on this, the highest legal speed I'm saying, because German autobahn is obviously de-restricted, happens to be somewhere in Abu Dhabi, 140 kilometers per hour. So 160 kilometers per hour coasting, no idea where that can happen. I like the G-force meter. I like the display, it's very nice. In fact, you have got 4-zone climate control, air conditioning. Yeah, you've got controls at the rear as well. And let me get into Audi Drive Select. So there are 6 drive modes. ESC on, because here it changed the mode. We have come out of, okay, I'm actually going to get into dynamic mode. Yeah, here we are. I have to take a right now, so we're going to stop here. 6 drive modes, of course, which means that the cluster mode actually changes as soon as I get out of RS mode. This RS mode, now RS1 and RS2, is so freaking similar to what BMW offers with the M1 and M2. So we have got efficiency, we've got comfort, we've got auto, we've got dynamic, we've got RS1, we've got RS2 as well. This car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.4 seconds, which is actually a misnomer. What? Why? How? This car actually faster than the claim times. Can you believe that? This car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour much faster than what Audi has claimed it to, and it goes from 0 to 200 km per hour in around 11.5 seconds. So it is actually 0.2 seconds faster when compared to the older RS6 Avant, or no, that's also on sale. So this is basically the RS6 Avant Performance, which gets a few changes. Firstly, the lighter and more compact center differential. It also gets more power, more torque, and then along with that, lighter wheels, lesser insulation here. So they've reduced 8 kgs in terms of insulation by removing some insulation from the front behind the engine, from the rear around the exhaust area, so that the car is more loud on the inside. But that's not seeming to help much, because you can't hear much inside. All I can hear are the tires through those ruts on the road. So yes, low profile tires don't really help much. Even when you're in a developed country like the United States of America, you can still hear a bit of the road noise, and the tire noise and all that can be heard. Let me just get out of this menu, because we are obviously not going to be timing 0 to 100 km per hour today, unfortunately. But yeah, if this car comes to India, I will be the first one to do it. So sport displays. What a gearbox, yaar. It actually is a torque converter which feels like a dual clutch automatic. Such is the level of shifts, and then I can slot this on the right to get into manual mode, which means here we are going to downshift to second. It will not upshift unless and until I decide to do so. So I'm just going to press the RS button here, because it looks even cooler with this RS runway. When I try to hit the red line, here downshift, second. Oh God, why are you intervening? Let me try this again. Here we are into second. Yeah, in RS mode now, it says don't try to take care of the gearbox. I will do it myself. Let me control the gearbox as I wish. It's quite nice. Weight distribution and all is quite good. Handling is good. Ride is okay, I would say, but for the most part it's good if you're on a good road. Only thing is that ground clearance is low, so you have to be a bit careful. Not here, of course, because there are no speed breakers which pop out of nowhere, and obviously even if they are, they're going to be rumblers which are like small, very much manageable. These new performance tires are actually better in terms of grip. So whether you drive the car on wet or dry, you have better grip, but obviously that difference is better seen when you're driving a car on wet road conditions, of course. And in terms of top speed, this will do 280 km per hour standard. So the RS6 Avant has a top speed of 250 km per hour. This car comes standard with the RS Dynamic package, which increases the top speed to 280 km per hour. Along with that, you also get the sport differential. You also get 4-wheel steering, rear wheel steering, which actually turns up to 5 degrees in the opposite direction under 100 km per hour at lower speeds to virtually reduce the wheelbase, thereby making maneuverability even better. Meanwhile, at higher speeds, it changes in the same direction as the front wheels by up to 2 degrees to virtually enhance the wheelbase for better high-speed stability. And yeah, rear wheel steering obviously works really nice in this car. The main thing though is that you can pay more to get the RS Dynamic Plus package, which results in the top speed going from 280 km per hour to 305 km per hour. Yeah, more than the top speed, it's all about bragging rights. Along with that, you also get carbon ceramic brakes. Brakes are good, carbon ceramics are obviously better, but with carbon ceramic brakes, don't forget that you will end up having to wait a bit before getting aggressive on the brakes, so that the brakes heat up a bit, because under colder braking conditions, you can feel that they're not that accurate or aggressive or whatever. Anyways, here, time to downshift into second. Oh, just a linear pull. Red line comes in at around 6,500 RPM. So it doesn't redline that high as much as you would expect, but engine never feels out of breath. This stop start system, 48 volt system, doesn't really help because it doesn't boost the fuel efficiency dramatically. It does not even aid in terms of propulsion, but I think it adds around 16 horsepower, and the stop start button has been thrown out of the window. Oh, I got scared. I thought there's a cop behind me, but that was actually a fire truck coming from ahead because the sound was so loud. Oh my god, I thought it wasn't my considering the insulation levels are so good. You would never expect such amount of sound to come out. Imagine how loud that is. That is real sound pollution. Anyways, how fast does this gearbox shift? It's done in a jiffy. Now obviously it has got cylinder deactivation. No, don't call it cylinder deactivation, call it active cylinder technology, which is what Audi likes to call it, which basically cuts 4 out of the 8 cylinders for coasting function to reduce the fuel consumption. But still, this car has a V8 engine, so obviously it's going to drink a lot. This 4-liter bi-turbo V8 is fantastic. So the German trio obviously have somewhere around 4 liters in terms of displacement for their V8 engines. This is a 4-liter bi-turbo V8. So does Mercedes have the same one, like not the same engine but similar displacement, 4-liter bi-turbo V8 there as well. BMW is like no replacement for displacement, my dear. 4.4-liter V8, which is so good that even Jaguar Land Rover is borrowing it for its cars. They dumped a 5-liter supercharged V8 and threw it out of the window. They're like, no, we should take the BMW one because that's the best. This engine does duty in so many cars. Bentley Bentayga, obviously. Then it does it in the Lamborghini Urus as well. And then we have the RSQ8. We have a ton of cars using this brilliant engine because this engine is absolutely phenomenal. It's so refined, it's so smooth, yet it's punchy enough. Performance is really very nice. Blows your mind. Yeah, it really blows your mind. This is a car which honestly I would buy any day over an sedan, over an SUV, because it gives you the best of both worlds. Best of sedan and SUV in a wagon style. What else do you want in life? Okay, we are going to take a left from here. No matter how aggressive you are on the throttle, it will never leave traction. You obviously have traction control system, but you never really need to use it because it is just amazing how it's able to put all that power on. Check this out, okay? What a fun car, what an amazing car. I have driven the RS6 Avant in India multiple times, a red one and then I think a blue one, and every time I drove this car I'm like, this car is super car fast, only with the practicality of an SUV, an amazing concept which nobody is able to match. In fact, the first 2 generations of the RS6 were available in both sedan and wagon body styles. From the 3rd generation onwards they decided no need of sedan. Our Avant is so tempting and desirable, let's just keep one body style here. So 3rd and 4th generation, this is the 4th generation model, obviously have the wagon only, the Avant, which is basically wagon for Audi speak. Now you might wonder that 850 Newton meters of torque isn't much because the Mercedes AMG GT63 SE Performance bi-turbo V8 is producing a whopping 1470. Oh, wait a second, let me accelerate. 1470 Newton meters of torque. Well, that's a plug-in hybrid, and the next generation of the Audi RS6 Avant, which is coming in 2025, is going to get a plug-in hybrid, so it's not going full electric. Oh my god, thank god for that. Plug-in hybrid is good because it's able to self-charge as well, so you don't really need to plug it anywhere and charge it. It has a better battery pack. Of course, this 48-volt mild hybrid is just like a Chintu Mintu battery, which is just there for the name's sake to tell people, you know what, if the need arises, it will not pollute and it will still be very efficient. This is the C8. Yeah, this is the model code of this car, and the whole story started with the RS2 Avant, which was a rocket ship which Audi developed with Porsche. Yeah, it got together with Porsche to develop that car. In fact, one of the generation of this car also had a V10 engine with a twin turbo motor. You can just imagine RS6 Avant means performance, 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 and a lot more performance. So guys, this is my vlog of the Audi RS6 Avant, a fantastic car, a personal favorite of mine, a car which I would choose over the RS7 as well. Yeah, I'm into station wagons, I'm weird. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.